I was gonna save this video for later because I want to work on something that's way more important. But I ended up seeing this trend that got very popular on the internet and I just can't hold it in anymore. This has to be released or something bad might actually happen to me and no one wants that. That is, we are way too obsessed with nostalgia. It is reaching the point where it is actually poisoning you. And it's very sad to see. This is something that has affected every aspect of our society. But I'm mainly here to bring up what it's doing to entertainment. So let's start with talking about the whole reason why I decided to bring this up right now, and that is the brand new LARPing trend that's currently happening as a recording of this video. We know how fast stuff moves on the internet, so when this release, no one may even care about it anymore. This is where a bunch of people are pretended to be very popular content creators, like Markiplier, Moist Critical, PewDiePie, and trying to emulate their content style from early 2015 to late 2017. When I bring up the word nostalgia poisoning, this should be the first thing that comes to your head, because what are we doing? Every side of this is just sad when you come and think about it. The creators, it doesn't matter what is their intention, if they're doing this for money or if it's just an idea that they just thought it was funny. They still ended up thinking about this. They are so obsessed with a period of time that they went so far to basically become a clone and emulate someone's content style as closely as possible and upload it on the internet. And if you are someone who is watching this, you are so obsessed with that time period that you found someone who's given you the tiniest, small grain of sand feeling of nostalgia that you go on your knees and start just licking their toes and eating up everything that they're doing. I mean, just look at some of these people. Look! I will never understand how some people can get this obsessed over some things. Yeah, I'm a normal human. I get nostalgic sometimes and think about stuff that I used to do in the past. It's completely normal and I don't think it's anything you should be ashamed of. But I will never understand this obsession of trying to recreate it. Because when I want to experience something that I already did back then, I just go back and watch or play it. That's it. I don't want to see it again or want it to be remade in any form. Can we please come up with something new? And I also don't want to hear the goo goo gaga excuse that you have some people using to defend this, where they're saying stuff like, well, is all YouTube content derivative and copying from someone else? And yes, you are kind of correct. We do have a massive problem on YouTube where there's a lot of people who are just blatantly cloning and copying what someone else is doing. Degenerosity is a prime example of this, as he has an army of people who are just copying his content style and basically just him and making an inferior version of it. But that is still very different than what these people are doing. And people who are bringing that up knows that. They're just using this as a perfect excuse so they don't have to confront how weird this is. Us as a community should not be fighting to make or watch content like this. This is not evolving. It's stagnation. And I think that's the perfect word to describe the modern state of YouTube in general. It feels like ever since we entered the 2022 era of content, we haven't really evolved that much. We're still doing the same trends, have the same editing styles. Even the jokes haven't even changed that much. We still have so much people trying to revive the old YouTube. And by that, they don't mean actually try to go back to how things used to be. They mean go back to the fan fiction nostalgic blind version that they ended up making up in their head. And this whole trend is just the final stage of that, where we're reaching the point where we're just eating ourselves alive so much, where we're pretended to be the people who we used to admire back then instead of trying to make something new. It's just sad. And that also perfectly described the state of another hobby that I'm into, and that is gaming. Now I know I'm automatically jumping into a very disgusting can of worms, because modern gaming discussion is full on the most brain dead thing to exist on the planet. All it is brain dead white people having meaningless arguments that has nothing to do with video games, getting upset and angry because a game is woke or bad because the female character isn't hot enough or there's a black person inside of the game, full on subhuman mentality. I also think it's funny that for multiple years, people like me have been called evil because I think people who literally hate and despise someone because they have a different skin color or they're a woman do not deserve to be respected, listened to, or taken seriously at all, or have a safe space of any kind. But no, I'm evil for thinking that until some mediocre white people come out of nowhere and come up with the term dark woke, which is basically just doing the thing that everyone has been telling them to do, and that is being mean and not respecting racist people. Wow. If I had $5 for every time a white person ended up stealing the language and idea that black people have been telling everyone to do for years, I will straight up be a millionaire. Like, this is a power that I actually wish I had, because I will have so much money. Wait, are you telling me that all progressive updates is basically just people in society realizing that black people had the solution to almost all the problems we had for years, but because of racism, no one listened to them? Insert very dead, unfunny astronaut meme for comedic effect. But as someone who's not a brain dead, stupid white person who participates inside of this meaningless argument and actually cares about video games, I can easily say that the state of this media is just so bland. The majority of games that are coming out nowadays are just a remake or remaster of something that already exists. And here's the thing, when people want to go out of their way to remake a really old game, although I still don't agree with it, and I think you should go back and play the old one, I can still get why most people don't want to play a game that looks like this. But since most of the popular ones has already been remade, we have reached a point where we are doing Xbox 360 and PS3 games. Most of those are very timeless and didn't really age that much. Like, why are we getting a remake of Danganronpa? I don't care that they're adding a brand new route. This is still just blatant nostalgia baiting. Why are we remaking games that already have perfectly fine remasters that you can go and buy? Actually, most of these remakes are so meaningless that there is a very big trend where a lot of game studios are removing the option for you to buy the remaster or making it very difficult to buy because they know how useless their product is. Hello everyone, this is me from the future editing this, and I just realized something. Even when they do pick a game that you can argue actually deserve to get remake because it has a lot of additional content that's not available or locked on a specific platform that most people haven't played, when they make a remade version of it, they still don't add it. Let me give you some example. In the Persona 3 remake, the female character is still not playable. In Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, they do not have a mode which brings back the original enemy placement. And in the Plants vs. Zombie remake, they didn't end up adding any of the console exclusive modes that ended up being locked on certain platforms. I'm not surprised that I ended up doing this. These remakes aren't made out of passion for the IP. They're just soulless cash grabs. And people in the modern day gaming community are so pathetic. The developers could probably sell this as DLC and people will be fine with it. It's just laziness. I've just been so worn out by just seeing these get confirmed so much that I can't even get myself to care anymore. And I don't even want to get into this weird thing where you have some companies remaking games that has already been remade before. And even when we do get a brand new IP, it is so heavily based off something that already exists. I played this before. I'm a person who actually want to get something new. I don't want to play another game where you're walking around as a generic white person doing something in a boring world with no world building. I don't care. Maybe, I don't know, can I get something new, like a fantasy world that's based off another culture, like Black American culture, Africans, Caribbeans, Native American, all of Eastern Europe is right there. I just want anything at this point. I don't care. Even the indie game space is not safe. I am getting sick and tired of seeing the word roguelike. I don't want to play a game where I have to be stopped on what I'm doing so I can go and pick 3 things where 2 of those perks are just meaningless, so you're just going to keep on picking the same one. Yes, it has way more innovation than the AAA gaming industry. Even though right now it's currently not great, I do think it is going to change. I don't feel like we're going to be trapped in this derivative hellhole forever. And I really do believe that. But we are not there yet. So until we make it there, I'm going to complain. To end this video off, I think the thing that sucks sucks about this the most is the fact that it's not going to get better anytime soon. Everyone loves to eat this stuff up, even though you'll see tons of people complain about it and say stuff like, I'm sick and tired of remakes and remasters, blah blah blah. I know you heard it before. That's just a complete lie. People are just saying that so they can sound cool on the internet. Because when a remake or remaster get confirmed, or a brand new show that already had a good ending gets a brand new season, or comes back for literally no reason, they're hopping on, straight up clapping like seals and doing the sea lion. They love the idea of being fed the same things over and over again. So we are just truly people like me who are not LARPing and are actually tired of this are in such a small minority. I don't even think we make up like 1%. So why in the world will everyone even spend time listening or paying attention to us? It's not going to happen. I mean, every current generation that's alive, down to prehistoric fossils, even down to the youngest gen beta, are obsessed with the idea of nostalgia. They're never gonna stop eating the slop. And nostalgia is just such a powerful tool, no one is gonna stop taking advantage of it. It's seen everywhere, down to important stuff. That's how two subhuman white racist billionaires were able to gain political power utilizing it. And it can be used all the way down to someone inside of their room pretending to be a content creator that tons of people used to like back then. Even you right now can take advantage of it. If you want to create something, just blatantly nostalgia bait. Pick up a old art style or make it have that idea of a classic look that people have, and you're guaranteed to get somewhat of an audience, even if it's a small one. I truly think we're going to be trapped inside of this nostalgic cycle until the current generations that are making stuff right now get cycled up. I really believe it's up to like Gen Beta to fix this, and that's probably going to take around 20 to 30 years. I don't want to end this video off having the generic "it's over" and just give up speech that you will see. So I am going to try to end this on a positive note. There are still people out there who are making brand new content. And I do think every time when you find someone doing something unique, you have to play your part and support that. Also, create stuff yourself. Making media is the easiest that it has ever been. So if you have the free time, please try to take some of your resources and have that idea that I know you have inside of your head and actually put it on a piece of paper or learn how to program and make it real. Hopefully, I'm just being over dramatic and this isn't really that much of a big deal. Anyway, that's it. Goodbye.